All right. Well, here we go. Here's some things to think about. This week we talked about virtual reality. Okay. Well, virtual reality is really exciting, but is it? Most of the examples provided in the discussions about virtual reality this week consisted of military use, large organizations, hospitals, back again, government use, military use, some for gaming, but some of you use some examples. Well, our business could do this. Well, not very many businesses are doing that. Why? Let's just see. ZDNet put an article out and this week on February the 8th. Here's what they talked about. There are a lot of benefits. There are a lot of benefits for virtual reality. And there should be a lot of applications. But the problem is organizations need to find more than a gee whiz. You remember? We talked about the gee whiz factor, the feasibility factor. Sure, they can do it, but it has to reward them. They have to get something back out of it. So ZDNet talked to some experts to see how they could increase the use of virtual reality in their business. And here were the reasons. Number one, find a genuine reason to deploy the technology. Not because it was gee whiz, not because it was neat, not because it was cool. A genuine reason. Does it actually create value? That's the big one. And here's another one. Develop a strong business case. One of the discussions this week, one student mentioned that their company did not seem to learn from mistakes. Well, and obviously that company tolerating those mistakes is okay. Or somebody's company may find that they do not align their MIS, they do not align their technology to their strategic needs. To that company, that's okay. It's not okay. But to the company it is. They're willing to accept that. So in order for MIS or IT to make an inroad in that and start contributing more, and the company making increased performance and doing better, have to have a strong business case, real life scenario, which is right back to the other one, make a real benefit. And then I think we might have another reason here. Always take security into consideration. In other words, you can have it as virtually realistic as you want. You're not wanting to give away things, right? Take security into consideration. So those are the big three issues for managing to convince an organization to use virtual reality. So let's think about this. We also talked a little bit about infrastructure and cloud over this last week. You know, the benefits of the cloud, the benefits of being able to share our electronic information multiple different ways, that sort of thing. We talked about that. Well, what's really happening? Think. A lot of organizations have no backup plan. Remember, we talked about that last week. They have no backup plan. So what happens if the internet goes down? They're down, right? If you're relying on the cloud and your cloud server goes down, unless your cloud server or your cloud provider has a fallback, an alternate connection, an alternate source, then all your information is beautiful and completely unusable because it's out there on the cloud. It's not in your house anymore, not in your plant, not in your organization. It's out there in the cloud. Wow. So what do organizations do? They cross their fingers and go, cloud's not going to go down. Bad assumption. So what happens when the cloud does go down? Oh my stars, Wi-Fi is down. What do we do? So here's what you do. What you'll do is you'll look for an automatic fallback. You want to make sure that your cloud service provider has that fallback, whether it is in their house or whether they have to feed it to someone else. Otherwise, when it is down, you're down. That means that's part of your business survival plan. A lot of companies will use the cloud as a backup. Remember, you get on your computer and say, oh, you want to start this out to the cloud? Great. It's very, very nice for you. If you cannot get it, you may as well not have it stored. So imagine the cost increase by paying to have good cloud services, and all of a sudden it all goes away. Here's the thing. Another thing to do is require your employees that they have a plan for working off-site. In practice, see how it works. Exercise your fallback plan. See how it works. Never, ever count on the system carrying you through because your fingers are crossed. Not going to work. Try it. Exercise it and test it. Just like we talked about having hot spares and hot backups, have a hot spare and a hot backup for your cloud service. It's all part of business survival. How important is it to you to have that information? And if it is, then maybe you should look at making sure that you do have it. Okay? So there you go. Our virtual reality check in cloud safety. I've enjoyed having you in the class. Good luck on the final week. And this is it. Have fun.